Hello again, welcome back. Today I thought I would do a TBR for February, and it's quite early, I know, but I get most of my books from the library, so I have to plan ahead if I want to hit specific goals for the month. And for February I thought I would, instead of playing my TBR game, I thought I would focus on my reading challenges, because I'm doing a few that are still running until the spring and summer. And the first one is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not doing great. There is a ton of books that, or a ton of prompts I haven't finished, so I'm going to focus on a couple of them and basically call it a day. There's no way I'm gonna get a bingo or like a blackout. I might get a bingo, but we'll see. But first of all, I'm going to focus on the A to Z challenge. I'm going by author name, either first name or surname. And for Q, I haven't had any yet, but I just looked at my Storygraph TBR, and Kate Quinn is the only author on there with a Q in her name. So I'm going to be putting that on the TBR. Okay, apparently authors with U are extremely uncommon, so I could not find one for the life of me. I mean, obviously I can find someone, but I'm very much against reading just for reading. I feel like I finally found my stride with what I enjoy, so I'm not going to force myself to read a book simply because I need to cross off a prompt. So I'm hoping that a historical fiction or a fantasy author with the U in their name will appear in the next couple of months. And in the meantime, for V, I have The Girls at the Kingfisher Club. This has been on my TBR for a long time. I did another project for it called A to C Women Writers, and I'm not gonna lie, I have been trying to get it for a long time too, so I'm not sure if it's going to happen this time around, but we'll see, I guess. The next list I could complete is my spelling your name, and I still need like 3 E's, an R, a J, and another R, and a B. So I guess I'll get looking. And I'm using the titles of the books for this one. For V, I found on my TBR from the library The Road to the Country, but in Danish, Vejen til landet, so I'm going to use the Danish title. So that's my V down, and then I'll have a look at my Storygraph TBR and see if I can hit any of the other letters. Okay, so these are the E's on my list, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too excited about it. There's Elijah's Mermaid by Essie Fox. I have no idea what this is about, but it's on my TBR for some reason, so I must have thought it interesting at some point. Then we have Elite Capture, How the Powerful Took Over Identity Politics. I think this is pretty new to my list, and I have a feeling maybe Nathan on Schizophrenic Reads on TikTok recommended it. It sounds like the kind of book he would recommend, but yeah. Then we have Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Sapia, and Empire of Pain about the Sackler dynasty. I think this was also the one where I thought I was gonna be like, you know, super smart and intelligent and read about politics and I don't know. But yeah, and then 101 essays for the essays that will change the way you think. And I have 4 here and I only need 3, so I think I'm gonna skip the Empire of Pain because that is really long. So I'm gonna put the other 3 down for ease. Just realized I'm going to skip 2 because the essays is also with an E. But I'm going to skip that one too because I really want to not have a deadline for it, so I can really focus and take my time reading it instead of just powering through because I have to finish by a certain date. For J, I also have 3 options. I have James by Percival Everett, which is pretty new. And then I have the Jamestown Brides, the untold story of England's maids for Virginia, which is pretty old on my TBR. And then the Jasmine Throne. James is pretty, yeah, like I said, it's pretty new and popular, so I might do that one also because I can use that for adventure in no, I can't. I just realized, because adventure in Eldia this year for January, the prompt is to read a book published in 2024. I thought I could use this one, but of course I'm reading this one for February. So let's see. But I'm going to put it on anyways, because I want to, basically. Then I need 2 R's, and I'm going to pick Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko, because that's also on my 100 books to read before 50 list. And then I'm going to pick The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, because that should be, like, it's pretty new and it's pretty popular, so it should be, I mean, I say it should be easy to get, but it might be hard to get from the library if it's really popular. But it's not like brand new, so hopefully I can get it. Then I need 2 more prompts to finish my queer rainbow square on the bingo board, and I need 1 for trans representation and 1 for intersex. And for trans, I'm going to pick A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. It's on the Trans Rights Library challenge on Storygraph, so I'm assuming it's well recommended. I'm going to pick Icarus by Kay Ankrum. I've read from them before and it was okay, but yeah, so I hope this one will be more to my liking. But yeah, people have shelled it as intersex before, so I'm hoping that's true. Sometimes it's really hard to know about representation in books until you've actually read it. So if you have any better recommendations for any of the things I've been mentioning, please let me know. And let's see what else I need. Yeah, for my genre challenge, I only need 1 science fiction. So I'm just filtering my TBR on Storygraph for science fiction, and we'll see what comes up. I could do A Psalm for the Wild Built, but you're not allowed to double up on these ones, so we'll see. But there's some pretty good things to choose from. I think I'm gonna go with The Second Rebel, because that's will also keep me moving on a series. Then we have a couple of prompts that I've just given up on. The new monthly releases in the month that they came out is not for me, because like I said, I get most of my books from the library and they are not that fast. But the Rainbow Challenge I did complete, so there's that. And over here I did also complete 3 books with names of people I know, and 5 books from 5 different countries. But I still have this one to read a book, and then to read books from 3 people who have blurbed it. So I think this is still relevant, so I'm going to put those books down. So that's The Christie Affair, that's the original book, and then it's blurbed by Janice Hallett, AJ Pierce and Elizabeth McNeil, at least. I also have this one with the 5 lowest ratings. Storygraph doesn't really filter by ratings, so I can't be bothered to go through a ton of books and figure out which ones are the lowest rated, so I'm just gonna skip that one for now. I also have garage sale books and AuthorTube books that I haven't really started on yet, because again, I mostly get my books from the library. How many times can I say that? And also, I don't want to read books just for the sake of crossing off a prompt. And the chances of me finding books I actually want to read in a garage sale here are quite low. So I'm focusing on other prompts, including small booktubers and their recommendations. So I'm going to write these ones down too on my list. So that's Moonglow by Michael Chabon. Mrs. Gardner Takes a Hand, The Reappearance of Rachel Price, and this one I can't double up on because it's not like a list thingy. Belladonna and Thornhedge. And then we have the last few prompts over here for seasonal books. I read one in autumn, so I potentially could still do this winter prompt. I just need to read a winter prompt in February because that is the last winter month. And then I'll be up to date with this one. But reading 3 books in 24 hours, I don't think I'm going to do that because at least one of the books has to be 300 pages. And I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. I have some vacation time coming up, so maybe it'll happen. And then a 4+ book series. I read The Inheritance Games and I kept it at the 4th one because I feel like I think there's a number 5, but it's technically short stories, so I don't usually count like the in-between and short story collections in book series. I'll just skip those and unless I'm like really into it. So I'm counting that one as done. I'm also doing the Our Fantasy Bingo for 2024 and 25. It runs until the end of March, so I still have a couple of months left, but honestly I don't think I'm gonna make it. I already have one bingo, so I'm going to call that a win. I could potentially get actually 2 more if I read something with Under the Surface, and for those I put down Fathom Folk or Into the Drowning Deep. I think Fathom Folk, it got pretty mixed reviews, but yeah, I'm not sure Into the Drowning Deep is actually fantasy at all. Let me check that. Into the Drowning Deep is sci-fi, and I'm not sure, I can't remember if it's allowed to be fantasy and sci-fi or if it's just strictly fantasy, but I can put Fathom Folk on my list and we'll see if I can get another couple of bingos before the end of the challenge. And I actually just remembered that I played TBR-a-thon, Books and Paws, I think the game was called, and I got a winter setting, and I picked Lost Souls of Leningrad by Suzanne Perry, so I'm going to put that down for hardest reading challenge you'll ever do, winter setting 2, and maybe we can get 2 birds with 1 stone. Is that the answer or the thing? Okay, so for now there's 21, I think, books on my TBR. There's like 1 or 2 repeats. And I will head to my library and see what I can actually get. Wish me luck. I have 14 new reservations on at the library. There were a couple of books that I couldn't find. I checked both my the Libby app and also my actual physical library, and the second Rebel for some reason is just not out there, so I think I might have to buy it, but I do have the first one in the series and I really liked it, so I wouldn't be too mad about it. Also I have a gift card, so the Christie Affair I got right away on Libby, so I'm going to listen to that while I take a walk later today. I know it's still January, but I don't mind like blending the the TBRs back and forth, because none of my January TBR books are available as audiobooks right now, so yeah. And Fathom Folk I just cannot find either, so maybe it's just too new and hasn't come out in Denmark yet, maybe. But yeah, so we'll see if I get another bingo on the Our Fantasy. Mrs. Gardner Takes a Hand, which was a recommendation from, I think it was Ellie's Cozy Corner. I also cannot find, so again, maybe it's not out. Belladonna I found in my physical library, and Elijah's Mermaid I also cannot find, so maybe I just need to delete that off my TBR, because I mean, I can't remember what it is, and apparently no one else can either in Denmark. So, and also I put a reservation on the, like I put a tag on the Reappearance of Rachel Price. Why is this book 17 hours long? Like 17 hours. What could be so important? And I mean, I have seen it physically before, and it doesn't seem that long. So like 17 hours. But yeah, my usual like cutoff point is 10 to 12 hours for audiobooks, so I'm a little bit apprehensive about this one, but it will knock out 2 prompts. So I guess I'll count it. It counts double, maybe. But let's see. Let's see if I get it in time. But yeah, wish me luck. I should have a good stack of library books soon. So tell me, are you using your local library? Can they get the books you want?